Bam! What is up? We're back with the tiny mics today. It's a little breezy out here in Central Oregon. And yeah, of course, the wind picks up as soon as I start recording this. I feel like so much has been evolving in the last couple of days, and I feel really called to take y'all on this journey with me as I go through these throat chakra upgrades that I'm going through right now, which is why my voice is very raspy. I woke up and I was like, "Oh, she is just moving right along." Um, Not surprised with all the work that I've been doing. It's been pretty consistently moving the last couple of days. I'm curious if anyone else has felt this way, but yeah, there's been a lot of energy moving the last couple of days. So if you felt off, if you felt tired, if you felt achy, if you felt like, okay, what is this old energy? And like, I thought I was done with this, it's shedding. We got blasted on the Schumann last night. And if you know anything about the Schumann resonance, or if you don't, it is the Earth's magnetic frequency or the Earth's heartbeat. You can look it up online. There's also an app that you can get. I personally have the app. I have for several years and I track it fairly frequently, not all the time, but I have noticed that we have been getting quite a few spikes the last like week or two, and we had a really, really big one last night, and it shows. Oh, I'll probably make another video like going through the Schumann resonance because I feel like that is something that I love teaching about because I think it's so freaking cool. And I'm not usually a data person or someone who like needs that like physical picture per se, or like proof, but it's something that I have really, dove into a little bit more over the last like 4 years since I like really started going deeper on my healing journey, and it's been so wildly accurate, and I feel like I don't feel the spikes as much anymore. And if you look at the graph, you'll see, white spikes are when we get like an influx of high energy, whether it's solar storms, whether there's so many different reasons why this can happen. And if it's blue and green, it's usually just integration or lower vibrational energy, but mostly integration in between the white spikes. And again, I'll probably make another video explaining more of this just because there's so much that can go into it. But if you've been feeling off the last few days, just know that like that is why. I know for me, I've been moving through a lot of energy, and something I want to talk about today is love and relationships. And I feel like this is a huge part of why I'm here, is to share my story in love and how I've fallen back in love with myself over the last few years since my divorce. I've been divorced almost 5 years now, which is wild. And I have learned so much on my journey of coming home to myself. And what I've learned is that that love that we seek so externally all the time. Everyone's like, I want to be in love. I want to find a relationship. I want to be in, I want to have a partner and do all the things. And they're all great. They're all great things. There's nothing wrong with those things. But I challenge you to fall in love with yourself first, because the relationship that you cultivate with yourself, that's where all the love starts. Everyone always seeks it externally. And truthfully, you won't find it externally until you find it within. And no one talks about that, or at least not many people do. And I really truly believe, in this coming home journey, if you will, that I've been on, that has been a huge part, has been listening to myself and loving myself and committing to myself over and over and over again. For those of you that have been watching for a while, or if you're new here, you probably know that one of my friends passed away in October of 2024. His name's John, was John, I should say. And he was a very special human to me, for many reasons, of which I've gone through in other videos. I don't feel like that's the energy that I need to be in today, but the wisdom that I learned from that relationship, and I learned so much, and he really helped guide me back home to myself up until his passing. And we had a really interesting relationship. But the one thing that I can say is, since he passed away, I have continuously fallen more and more in love with myself, even as hard as it's been. And I believe that's one of the greatest gifts that he gave me in whatever contract we signed up for. And I loved him so deeply on a level that I it was a soul level connection that, unless you've had it, I don't know how to explain. It's so hard to put it into words, because first of all, I personally struggle with 3D words. I think our realm does not have enough words for the amount of feelings that I feel and to portray the feelings that I have and have experienced. But love is the closest thing to that. And when I say love on this level, it is a deep soul recognition level of love. And again, unless you've experienced it, it's kind of hard to put it into words, but it's just like, I love you beyond this lifetime and I can't explain it. And I'm so grateful for the experiences I had with him because it truly, every single one, led me back home to myself, led me to fall deeper in love with myself, led me to commit to myself. And he is a huge reason why I continue to do the work that I do because like I don't have any other words other than that. And I'm so deeply passionate about committing to myself and connecting with my intuition and connecting, just coming back home to myself has been one of the greatest journeys that I have ever gone on in my entire life, aside from the journey that I went on with him. And how cool that I've gone through both of those journeys in the last 5 years. And the one thing that has come up recently, and I'm like, I can feel my resistance with this because I started talking to someone recently, and it's very clear the soul recognition and the soul level love, if you will, that is otherworldly and it is from another lifetime. And it's wild because I literally had just given, I was like, fuck it. Like, my partner will come in when they're meant to, whoever they are, like, they will show up exactly when they're meant to. And I truly believe in that. And so I said, fuck it. I'm just going to commit to myself. I'm going to love on myself. And all that love that I would pour into a partner, I'm going to pour all of that love back into myself because that is what I would want from a partner. And when I made that shift, guys, I cannot express how quickly things started falling into place. And I was like, I always heard people talk about this and I just rolled my eyes. And then the moment I made the distinct commitment, this person just walks into my life. And it's changed my outlook on love in terms of a partner, more so from the past versus now, right? Because I am a sovereign whole being and I am very free and I am very independent. And it's been so wild to have healed so much on my own. But the real growth comes in when you have that true mirror and reflection that can literally mirror things to you that you're like, oh, fuck, I did not realize that that was still a thing. I thought I was done with that. In fact, we were chatting the other day about when we're getting set to meet up in person, and I had fear come up because of my past relationships with men. And I had so much anger and so much resentment over every man that I had been with. And I was like, whoa, I'm not an angry person. Like, it generally takes a lot for me to get angry. And I was like, what is this energy? And he just sat there steady as a fucking oak tree and was like, you think this is bad? I'm like, dude, I am never like this. He was like, this ain't bad. This ain't bad. You're doing just fine. And we talked, what I truly love about our connection is that if a fear comes up about anything, we worst case, best case, middle ground scenario it. And let me tell you, that little fucking practice, man, like, I encourage you anytime a fear comes up, worst case, best case, middle ground scenario, just do all three and just see how much of a difference it makes. Because I didn't realize that just verbalizing my worst case scenario out loud, I just immediately felt my body drop. Meaning, like, I was like, oh, I'm good. Like, now that I verbalized that, I'm also a verbal processor, so like, you know. But once I verbalized that, I just felt my body go, oh, wow. That's actually not true. I actually don't believe in that. That is just straight fear talking. And sometimes, most times, fear just wants to they just want to be heard. That version of you that experienced whatever experience that was, that created that fear, that created that imprint in your body, they just want to be heard. That fear just wants to be said out loud. And I can almost goddamn guarantee you that once you acknowledge that fear, it goes away. The feeling drops. dissipates, however you want to say it. And it was wild. I said it and then I was like, whoa, that was cool. That was fucking cool. And he started chuckling at me and I was like, dude, this is fucking wild. And also just like to have a masculine that can stand steady in the midst of all of my feels and my storm and all the things, like best friends before anything else was just also fucking cool. But just like how wild it is to be able to express my fears and there is no judgment, there is no wavering, there is no nothing. It is just steady ground. And I'm like, man, normally I'm the one holding steady ground for other people. And so to have that mirrored back to me is also fucking cool. But guys, if you have fear that is rising, just verbalize it. Honestly, it is the best thing you can do for it. And just watch how fast your body shifts, how fast your emotions shift, how fast that fear dissipates. It was like whoosh, it was gone. And in that moment, I fell in love with myself that much more because I was like, holy shit, I can verbalize these things. And when you're by yourself, right, you're acknowledging fear, but you're probably not you're probably not saying it out loud. And so even if you don't have someone to mirror and reflect that, still state worst case, best case, middle ground scenario for that fear and just watch what happens. And I guarantee you will probably fall more in love with yourself. And falling in love with yourself is the greatest gift that you can give yourself in this entire fucking lifetime, guys. Like, now I get to share that love with someone else, and it's so fucking cool. Like, I share it with my friends and I share it with my family and all these things, but to have a mirror to share that love with and to have that love mirrored back to you in such a way that is just unfucking, indescribable, undescribable. You know what I mean? It just, it's a whole new level, and I'm so grateful. And it's also just like no matter what happens, like I still got me at the end of the day, right? I'm gonna make another episode on self-abandonment because I feel like that's been just a huge topic recently. Thought that was gonna be the topic of this video, but here we are. This one's gonna be about love and relationships because the love and relationship that you cultivate yourself is the most powerful one that you can ever cultivate. It's between you and God, baby. I can't tell you how many times recently I've said that. It is between you and God. And it is not between you and anybody else. It's not for you to blame anybody else, no matter what. Your journey is between you and God. Because you are a fractal of God. We all are. Fractal of source, universe, however you want to say it. And that's pretty fucking cool. So if you take anything away from this video, just know that that fear that's talking, it's just a little voice in your head. You don't have to pay it any mind, but if you do have to pay it some mind, if it's just like harping on you and you're just like, oh my God, and you're feeling all the feels, feel all the feels of that fear. Don't push it away. Don't numb it. Don't suppress it. Don't say, oh, I'll deal with that later. Just feel it in the moment because I promise you, when you feel it in the moment, they literally have, pretty sure, done studies on this. When an emotion comes up, right? Fear. If you just feel that emotion, generally it'll last 90 seconds. Same with crying. If you let that emotion come up, it'll probably last 60 to 90 seconds, 2 minutes at most. If it lasts longer than that, it is because of the story that you have attached to whatever that emotion is. That's it. How fucking basic is that? Wild. Feel the emotion, feel the fear, and you don't have to go through this long, endured fucking cycle of sitting with the fear. Name it, acknowledge it, recognize it, feel it. Worst case, best case, middle ground scenario, and then release it. You don't have to hold on to it. And that is part of loving yourself. That is one of the deepest, coolest, biggest growth pieces I've learned on this coming home journey. Yeah. Don't let fear rule the game, guys. We didn't come here for that. That's a silly little Earth thing. Silly Earth. We love Earth, but it's a silly little thing. And that fear lives in our bodies. It's dense. Why do we want to be dense? Why do we want to be heavy? Might as well just let it go. It's probably not ours to hang on to anyways. It probably was never ours to fucking hang on to in the first place. That's just my 2 cents. I wish you all the best on your coming home journey. If you'd like one-on-one support, I do offer that. The link is in my bio. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. Follow me on all platforms at Lynn Shelto. I appreciate you for being here, and I hope you give yourself some extra love today. I love y'all so much. See y'all in the next one.